at the crime scene, you'll see that he obviously doesn't like the wigs. That's one of the first things he tore up. She told you that he grabbed her face, slammed it into the dash, and then brought her face and bit her. That's it, right? If you had never heard about Corey Thomas, you would think, no, he didn't bite her. People don't bite. No one's gonna bite another person. But then you see what happened to Corey Thomas on August 8th, and he has a huge bite to his face and a huge bite to his arm. These are things that corroborate what she is saying. He bites. And then the pictures taken after the incident, which you've shown multiple times, where she kept them and she sent them to him, like, look how much I am healing. That's how you know that these things are happening. She's corroborated by messages between them, between pictures, and between his actions, like you see here on this slide. And then what did he tell her? I have to kill you, look at you're all messed up now. And then they devise this plan where she's not going to go out in public, and he licks his hands and wipes the blood off, and she's able to go in her house when her mother is not around. So those are the previous incidents that we have discussed. And so there was a lot of talk about the state's charging practices and how it was 7 charges and it had ended up being 34 charges. Christy had never told anybody the depth of the domestic violence. She talked about it with the police. She said that this had been a history of domestic violence. She talked about it with Nurse Jerry. But she never had talked about the, let me get through this one second. I'm going to go back to that. She had never talked and explained everything that went on. So when she's saying it's happened every week, theoretically, the state could have gone back and charged everything within the time period. Every week, every choking, every time he hurt her, every time he threatened her. We could have charged all of that. What did the state do? We asked specific instances. 2 chokings, the Boulevard incident, and the Houston incident. Which one of those should the state have turned their eyes away from? Which one of those should we have said, you know what, you get a pass, because you scared her, and you threatened her, and you told her you'd kill her, and you told her you'd kill her mom. So we're just going to forget about that previous conduct. We're going to let you slide on that. We're only going to charge you for the monstrous things you did on August 8th. Which of those charges should we have just let him slide on? There could have been hundreds of charges. There's the Boulevard incident, the Houston incident, and 2 chokings. 4 things for 15 months of domestic violence. Now, before we get to August 8th, in regards to the coercion, Mr. Lederman kind of expressed something to you that is not the state of the law. And he said to you that we have to prove a specific date. That is not true. Ms. McInday stated that he would take her phone, and that happened at minimum of 5 times. And how do we know that those types of things happen? Well, look at her conduct on August 8th of 2014. She goes and she deletes all of her calls because she knows that he's going to come and get her phone. She knows that because he's taken her phone before. Furthermore, where's the phone? He took the phone. That's what he does. He beats her, and then he threatens her, and he takes her phone so she can't get help, which is what he did on August 8th, which is why we don't have her phone. But you can also look at her tweet earlier where she said, he beat the whatever out of me, and he took my phone. And same thing in regards to the swinging. She stated that it happened more than twice, and that he would constantly remind her about who his friends were. Well, how do we know that that's accurate or that she's telling the truth? Well, that's exactly what he tweeted, and that's exactly what he said to Corey Thomas as they were leaving. So now I want to talk to you about the August 8th incident. And what Mr. Lederman told you is that you can't believe her because she can't remember. She can't remember anything. Well, your notes will be your friends. So you guys compare notes and look through. But in your notes, the state is confident that you will find that she will say, I don't remember the first hit. I remember him coming at me, but I don't remember the first hits. And then I don't remember getting in or out of the shower. But let's look and see what she does remember. Well, first of all, the state would ask you to compare what she says to what Corey Thomas says about what happened during that night, and look at the similarities. These are two people that haven't seen or spoken to each other in over 2 years. The state would ask you to look at the testimony between the two of them. But the state would ask you also to listen to the 911 call. And when you listen to the 911 call, see if what she told you was happening is corroborated by what you hear in this phone call. Did you plug that in?
Yeah.
Friday, August 8, 2014, 01:55 and 41 seconds.
911 emergency direction, 1763, please, fire available.
And then she remembers them, the defendant choking Corey and Corey slamming the defendant into the wall. Well, she obviously remembers that part because here it is. There's the indent in the wall where Jonathan Copenhaver's head went in. Then she stated that they continued it on the floor and that John continued to choke him, and that's also corroborated by what Corey said and in regards to where all the blood is in the carpet. Her tongue and knowing that he had knocked out her teeth, which you can see in this photo. Everything she tells you is corroborated by physical evidence that was found at the scene. Also look at her testimony in regards to what the neighbor said and in regards to going door to door to door. She went to the Giraldos, Alberto and Dasha, and then Alberto and Dasha wouldn't let her in, and then she went across to Arthur Harris. That's also something she remembers and is corroborated by the neighbors as well. In regards to her memory that she said of what happened to her and her injuries, it's clear that she remembers being struck in the face, and you know obviously now multiple times of all the broken bones in her nose and her eye. And the doctor stated to you yesterday that he told her she had somewhere between 15 and 18 broken bones in her face because he was counting the nasal fractures and all the breaks in the orbital eye socket. So that's not something that she just made up. She also talked about feeling her tooth on the top of her tongue and knowing that he had knocked out her teeth, which you can see in this photograph. And then the fact that he took the knife and he was digging